So 3-1 it was against Manchester United at the Riverside. Welcome to the latest edition of Borough Fans Chatting. Yes, it is RedArmy.TV. With me on the couch, well, not with me on the couch, but there on the couch, James Lees.
Hello.
We had to get you back, James, because you were here just a couple of weeks ago having a real go at Karanka. He's gone, so welcome back to the show. We'll get your thoughts very shortly.
Very much.
And Matt Bland, a virgin. Well done, mate. Yeah. I mean, on the show. Well done. Thank you for coming
Thank you very much.
And it'd be good to get your views too. So let's start exactly there. Manchester United, 3-1, we said. How much of a disappointment was the scoreline?
It wasn't a huge disappointment because you've got to look at the game as would you think is Manchester United something we're really going to get something out of? It would have been nice. We were certainly pushing for the draw near the end, but I wouldn't say it's a huge disappointment because there was plenty of positives to take out that game, I think.
Matt, your thoughts on it? 3-1
Yeah.
United. It wasn't a 3-1 game, was it?
No, it definitely wasn't. But I don't think we're expecting miracles after Karanka's departure, to be honest with you. I think we just went in there, did the best we could, and to be honest, I wasn't disappointed with the result at all. It was kind of expected, but to get a goal after 2-0, when Man U went 2-0 up, I think that was a nice little comeback, but an added bonus for the match.
How much do you feel they were rocking a little bit at that point? We got the goal back, the crowd was back in it again, the players were up, we were looking on the front foot again. I saw signs of United rocking a little, did you?
I think they did, yeah. It kind of, in a way, put the nerves on them, especially because I don't think they were expecting this to be a hard game at all, especially with both teams were playing. But with obviously we had 3 up attacking, and we just pushed and pushed, and it was a much better paced game, and I think that kind of did rock Man United.
Were you expecting us to get a second at 2-1?
I was, to be fair, because
Likewise.
I did think we did have a hell of a chance of getting the second at the time. We were pressing quite well. Phil Jones was looking his usual shaky self. It looked like we were going to get a chance. It was obviously the third goal is one of those. It's one of those freak things. But yeah, we looked like we had a hell of a chance.
Well, let's get some views on the game itself, and we'll come back and we'll dissect a little bit more. Joe Nicholson, our man who's got eye down under, he was watching the game. Here's his thoughts.
Yes, the weather has been glorious here in Melbourne over the past few days, but today it's been pretty miserable, a bit like Borough's league position at the moment. However, there were plenty of positives to take from the Manchester United game despite the 3-1 defeat. I thought the way that we pressed in the first 10-20 minutes, tried to win the ball back, there was a bit of urgency to really get out the pitch, which was a lot different to the previous games when Karanka was in charge. I thought we did tire a little bit though towards the end of the first half, and then at the start of the second half, a few sloppy passes, giving the ball away a bit cheaper, and Manchester United took the lead through Marouane Fellaini in the first half, doubled their lead in the second through Jesse Lingard, a great strike from him, and Borough really struggled to get to grips with the movement of Manchester United's forward line, especially Marcus Rashford, who scored plenty of problems for Ben Gibson and Bernardo Espinosa in the Borough back line. But the way Borough did respond to going 2-0 down was very positive. Some positive substitutions from Steve Agnew, bringing on Rudy Gusted. Adama Traore went a bit more direct and really had a go, which we haven't really done in the past few games. Got one back through Gusted, and the final few minutes we could have easily nicked an equaliser. Victor Valdes very unfortunate to concede that third goal when he slipped, and Antonio Valencia made it 3-1. Look, it's still going to be very difficult for Borough to stay up this season. It may be too little, too late, but I think most Borough fans would agree that there definitely needed to be a managerial change, and unfortunately that meant Karanka had to leave. But there were positive signs that it's not over just yet. The next 3 games against Swansea, Hull and Burnley are going to be massive though, really going to be make or break in Borough's season.
Thanks for that, Joe. I hope you're enjoying the tinnies. Let's get your thoughts as well here on the Man United game. Andrew Milne, that's the best display I've seen this year. Even though we got beat, we actually looked like we might score a couple of goals. Callum Richardson, even though we got beat today, we played decent football. We just need to play more attacking football, especially in the next 3 games. Catherine, Lisa, regardless of the result, that was the best match I've seen at the Riverside in a long time. We had a go. Dan Oliver, Victor Valdes was brilliant. Third goal was cruel. Improved performance. Just a shame it was Man United we were playing. And finally for this section, George Boateng, the George Boateng. I thought Borough did well against Man United. They showed good spirit. If they show that spirit in the coming games, they will stay up. What was the difference for you, James?
The difference was, I guess, a change of emphasis in regards to the team, what we're looking to do. We were attacking from the first minute. There was a stage of play at one point where every pass was one touch, and we're breaking up United play very, very well. United started very solid at the back. The midfield were really supporting the back four, so that was hard to break down. But Gaston got a chance early doors, cut inside, had a shot. I wasn't expecting the Barca to start a play on Sunday, but there was a lot of positives from that. I thought were really, really good. I think just to see the change of emphasis, you just have to look at performances from Gaston and Stuart Downing in regard to how much of a difference it made Mr. Agnew being in charge, not Mr. Karanka.
We'll come on to AK a little bit later. Matt, for you, how nice was it to see us go two up front? I mean, two conventional strikers up front.
It made a hell of a difference, considering what past games we've always been defending too much, I think, in the previous games. So to have that change up front, it made a massive difference, especially to the pace of the match. Before, when especially against West Ham, West Brom matches, I thought Middlesbrough seemed very deflated in those games. But to see them play the way they did, and it was just a refreshing sight to see the team play the way they did.
Does it give you hope that we just may sneak it?
It does, yeah, it really does. I mean, it's just a touch on the kind of two up front. That goal would not have happened at all on Sunday if there wasn't two up front, because what happens when the ball comes in the box, you've got the one centre forward's chance to get it. We had that, but the second bounce of it came to our other centre forward. That wouldn't usually happen if you're playing a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3. So the fact that we're going to give something like that a go means it gives me a lot of positives. There was something there that made me walk out that stadium on Sunday think, do you know what, we've got a chance of beating these teams near us. We're not as bad a team as we think we are. We can give this a go. International
breaks to come, Matt, but so we've got a little bit of time before we see us take on Swansea. But again, we talked about hope of staying up, hope of beating Swansea. Do you reckon we've got a decent chance now? We're going to have a go.
Oh, definitely. If we keep the kind of formation and the pace of the Man U match and take that with us to Swansea, I think definitely it'd be a great away game to win.
It's good to have some positivity, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes a change.
We've not had much of it in here, have we? Over the past couple of weeks, it's all been doom, gloom, and despondency. So all those who've had a go at us have been negative. Hey, we're being positive, and it's fantastic. You've been positive too. Out on the streets. Mark took his camera out after the United game, wandered around and said, hey, I'm from RedArmyTV, what are your views? Borough getting beat 3-1, but what about the performance?
Second half, change of formation, got two strikers up front, what the fans have been asking for, we've given it a go, hasn't worked out, onwards.
Yeah, alright. I thought we were just unlucky at the end, like, we fell this asleep. But I mean, at the end of the day, two up front, you should see it was working. Just needs a bit of support, isn't it? Grado, like, I think we'll be alright. Still a lot of games to go yet. Hopefully we can get some more points on the board.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, mate. Not a bad game. Scoreline didn't reflect the match, like, did it?
Did well. Unlucky at the end, like, but could have he's gone attacking, and he's done what Karanka never did. Yeah, exactly. He did it early enough. We could have got a result out of it, but unlucky at the end, weren't we? Very good.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic, the positivity. We love it. It does beg the question about the future management. Aggers has got the job at the moment.
Yeah.
Have you seen enough to say, right, let him keep the seat for a couple of more games till the end of the season?
You can't judge a manager on 90 minutes, you really can't. Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of positive to take out from Sunday. It could be a freak match, it really could be, so it'd be hard for me to judge. I don't believe he's the right man to take us forward to the next level. And I thought the whole thing of sacking Karanka would mean, okay, the next appointment's massive. But the way Steve Gibson's talking, it sounds like it's Agnew's job till the end of the season, minimum.
But we have seen an immediate difference in performance, in attitude. Players who wouldn't play for Karanka were playing on Sunday. Does that not bode well?
It doesn't. It's I don't know. I mean, with Agnew again, they say we can't judge him on 90 minutes. But again, when Karanka came in, his first game we lost against Leeds. So it's kind of like history repeating itself in a way. So it depends on if he gets a decent lineup that plays well, and obviously the match against Man U did. He should, looking at in hindsight and think this is the formation we should keep him playing with.
We did have a poll across the week as soon as AK went to ask who do you want. The options were Nigel Pearson, Roy Hodgson, Steve McLaren and somebody else, or A and other, as we put on there. 66% said A and other. McLaren, as you can see, 4%, Hodgson 5%, Nigel Pearson 25%. If not Aggers, Then who?
Well, my first choice would be Gary Monk.
All right.
English manager, which I'd like to see us go back to. I think it's something we've always kind of in the past. Obviously, Karanka worked fantastically for us. And he got us back in the Premier League, and the club's back on its feet again. But I'd like to see us go someone like Gary Monk, someone who's a purist in regards to football, English manager, young. Even though he got the sack at Swansea, he shouldn't have. He was performing brilliantly at Swansea. The players like playing for him, and he's worked wonders at Leeds, because that's a terrible Leeds team, but they are playing some superb football.
Any thoughts for yourself, Matt?
Kind of agree. I know a lot of people are shouting for McCarran to come back, but it's to me, you don't want to step back, you want to move forward and try, fresh feet in the grounds. And
it was an interesting comment he came out with just 24 hours ago about when he was asked about it.
Yeah.
He said, Teesside's the only place in England where I can walk down the high street, not get hassled and go and have a quiet cup of coffee. I don't want to spoil it. so that's Stevie Mac's honesty for you. Who else is there that could be in the frame?
Oh, wow. Well, I don't know. I was supposed to be. Second.
Nigel Pearson.
Well, I'm divided. But I don't know if we should. I think we should go to someone who could do well, but in such a short time. Because I know Pearson, he did well in previous managerial roles. I think it was Hartlepool, wasn't it? And Leicester. So he did well there, but do you want someone like that who's coming in so short the season? You want someone who's probably got more experience?
Well, for the moment, Aggers has got it, and we wish him well. We do. We keep our fingers crossed for that one. Let's have a look at your thoughts on a couple of messages that have come in. Kieran, I'll get behind the bloke Agnew for however long he's the manager. May not be what we need, but you can't say he won't put his all into it. Yeah. Tez Peacock, when the owner says we're going with Steve Agnew, shouldn't that automatically rule everyone else out? And Ian Smith, I'm backing Agnew to get us out of the bottom three and steer us to safety. Like the guy, I like the guy, the more I see of him. So that's cracking stuff. Right, we're going to take a quick break. Just before we do, young Maisie, have a look at this. She's a big Ben Gibson fan, and we promised we'd play her video. Here she is.
Follow, we do Red Army from Middlesbrough. We can we take, Stephen Gibson King. We do Red Army from Middlesbrough.
And what up, British soccer fans? It is your boy, Mackie Jackson, the American soccer fan. Now, I got a chain for a team that plays up in Smogside Shire. They're called Middlesbrough, and it goes like this. The air is smog, oxygen's low, my lungs are clogged because I love Borough. Middlesbrough, 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 Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough fans, I hope you guys stay up in the championship. American soccer fan all out.
Appointed manager back in November of 2013, Aitor Karanka came to the Riverside, and it was the first time the club had a manager who wasn't English.
Good, it's a very important day for me. It's my first job. I think it's the best thing that I can do, because I find a club like a family.
His first task was to get Middlesbrough winning again, but things were off to a rocky start with a defeat at Leeds only 10 days after taking over the role. He managed to get the mighty Borough all the way to the playoff final, but lost the decisive match to Norwich City at Wembley Stadium. Last year he walked out of a training ground session after an argument and had to consider his future at the club, but many felt that it was the beginning of the end for Karanka, but he did return and led Middlesbrough to the top after a 7-year absence. Fast forward to this year, where Karanka led Middlesbrough to the last 8 of the FA Cup, where they were eliminated by Manchester City. He was sacked on the 16th of March with the team 3 points from the top flight safety and without a league win since December of last year.
James Barker there with a quick look back at Aitor Karanka's time at the Borough. 3 years in the space of a minute, so there you go. Thanks for that one, James. Let's have a look back at Aitor's time. And I know a lot of people, including this show, has been critical of him in the last few weeks. I suppose none more so than yourself, James. But saying that, what sort of job across the three plus years has Aitor done?
Well, I think Steve Gibson kind of summed it up perfectly. And we are better for having Aitor Karanka in charge for us. Which, when he took over, we were not a very good team at all. I mean, Tony Mowbray never had a win in three wins in God knows how long, and we were really on a downward spiral. He made us start playing some nice football. He made things solid at the back. We are better for having Karanka, we really are. But it was completely the right time for him to go. It really was. The perfect tweet was put out by Paul Ford. I mentioned him. It's like getting your family dog put down. It's it's the right thing, but it still kind of hurts. Because it's not that I disliked the bloke. I just thought what you said, he wasn't learning from his lessons as a manager. So yeah, it was complete right time for him to go. But we are better for having Karanka as manager, 100%.
Yeah. Right time for him to go.
Definitely, yeah.
Sad time?
It is. It's sad, but it was also a right time. I again agree. What you said about he did well for the club. He brought us into the Premier League. He fought well in the FA Cup as well, getting us in the quarter-finals. He did his job, but also there was obviously things off pitch that we weren't seeing that were obviously bringing it down, the momentum down the team and things like that. So yeah, it was definitely time to go. The criticism side of from the fans as well, he wasn't taken lightly. So yeah, it was time for a change really.
I mean, just looking at his stats at his time at the Borough, 171 games he was in charge, won 80. Drawn 42, lost 49. The win ratio is 47%. So almost half the games he was in charge, he won. That's not a bad record. It's one of the best records of any Middlesbrough manager.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, in the 3 years he's been there, it's a great record. Definitely did the team proud. It's just a shame things went the way they did.
Where did it go wrong though?
I think ego got the better of him and stubbornness. He'd obviously, his main kind of like teacher as a manager is Jose Mourinho, and he's got this stubborn streak. He tells players how things are if they don't agree with him, but Jose Mourinho's been there and done it. Karanka doesn't have that gravitas behind him to say, no, I've won so many Champions League, if I'm saying you're doing this, you're doing this. He can't do that, and that's why players are falling out of him, that's why fans fall out of him. It's just why it happened. It was stubbornness and his ego.
Has there been any damage caused by dragging on for so long? And I mean, the obvious is, yeah, we could be relegated, but other than that, any damage in there in the camp, players, things like that?
I don't think so now. I think it's been handled really well by the players, by the club and by Karanka. I think the fans now will always hold Karanka in high esteem. If he ever came back to Middlesbrough now with another team, he'd get applauded, he wouldn't get booed.
Would you applaud him?
100% I would, yeah.
Yeah, even though you were critical at the end?
I was critical because he took us as far as he wasn't learning his lessons. Middlesbrough Football Club's the main part of mine. It's not who the manager is, Middlesbrough Football Club. But if he comes back with another club, I'll applaud him. We did with Brian Robson. Brian Robson should have went a good season before he eventually did, but he's held in high esteem at Middlesbrough Football Club, so he should be. Steve McLaren the same.
He got a fantastic reception when Derby came up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Will you be standing and applauding next in the UEFA Cup? Oh, no, it's not that anymore. But when Karanka comes back with the team, and you'll give him a warm welcome.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's just like I said, it's just a shame how things went towards the end of his career at Middlesbrough, and it's a shame that it's been overshadowed by the problems on the training ground from a year ago. I think what happened a year ago hasn't really fully cleared between the team until now, and hence why you've seen that the performance. So I'd definitely be giving him certainly standing ovation when he comes back.
A few more of your views that have come in via social media and the like. Richard Barker. Personally, I'm glad he's gone. I applaud what he's done for the club, but we have to live for the present. Unfortunately, he couldn't quite deliver. Mark, you can't knock him for getting us back into the Premier League. However, his downfall has been not adapting to this league. Andy Cook, I think we may come to regret this decision in the long run. However, something hasn't been right at the club for a few months. Chris Dawes, thanks for that one, Chris. Karanka, good luck in your next job, and thank you for all the memories you created with the Borough. And Chris Brownlee, sad news, whether you are for or against his tactics, he has moved this club on. Not a lot of managers can do that. Thanks for your efforts. It does give you hope, though, doesn't it, of what is to come, because we're no longer that club in the Championship struggling.
No, that's it. So there's hope. There is hope. And whether it is we go down this season, I won't lose any. Well, I'll be upset because it's not what we wanted. But if we go down, I know we've got enough to come back up again. So there's hope, and we're a bit. That's because of our talk Karanka.
And I suppose the players are playing, and that's the important thing. And we're seeing them now under Agnew attacking. So it does give you hope. All right, we might go down, but we could bounce back up.
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's certainly room there to bounce him back up. I'm quite excited for the next few games against Swansea, Hull. I say bring it on. It'd be good to see the fight right until the end. Really, if we stay up, we stay up. If we don't, can't say we didn't go without a fight.
Those next 3 games are going to be absolutely cracking.
Yes, very nice.
Which we will focus on RedArmy.tv. But let's catch up some news. Here's Heidi.
Almost a week week since Aito Karanka left Middlesbrough on a mutual departure. Steve Agnew has taken over the reins, feeling confident that Borough has what it takes to stay in the Premier League with 10 matches left to play. The Borough head coach has already started preparing for the next trio games, starting away to Swansea City a week on Sunday. After a 2-day break, the players return to Rockcliffe and Agnew will have his first extended opportunity to put his stamp on the squad and implement his own approach. Agnew, who has got complete trust and backing from Chairman Steve Gibson, is favoured to take over the new manager's role on a permanent basis. MFC Foundation is teaming up with Middlesbrough College trying to recruit student volunteers for the new Premier League Kicks programme. The club paid a visit to the college to chat to students about the programme that offers free sport and activity sessions. To find out more about this, go to Google and search for Premier League Kicks. Ben Gibson will keep a close eye on his form tonight as Gareth Southgate is short of defenders for Sunday's World Cup qualifier against Lithuania at Wembley, with both Phil Jones and Gary Cahill missing. Southgate will consider his options after the friendly against Germany, and the Borough central defender could be in the frame if he decides he needs cover. The England bus has been to the Riverside several times this term and has spoken highly about Gibson, who played for England under 21 when Southgate was in charge. And don't forget, if you have any Borough-related news, we'd love to plug it. Get in touch. Email us at studio@redarmy.tv or via social media @BoroughRedArmy.
Thank you for that, Heidi. Heidi with the news. Fellas, Fly Me to the Moon, top 5 threads. I think we missed out on them last week. Thanks to Rob for sending them in. Number 1, very, very encouraging. We have a chance to stay up. The second thread, when do you stop blaming the manager or the system? The third one, people leaving the game early. It's a bit of a bugbear of yours, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. I mean, you go there to watch your team, you support them right to the end. You don't. Well, I know if you lose, it's you know, you get upset by it, but I wouldn't stand up and go. I'd stay to the very end. It's kind of well, disrespectful, really. I believe to the players in the team if you get up with 5, even 10 minutes to spare, which I've seen fans do.
How about 30 seconds to go? Victor Valdez has just slipped. They've put a third one in. Would you get up and go, or would you stay until that whistle goes?
On Sunday, not a chance, because them players deserve to be applauded off.
Yeah.
So not a chance. Not a chance. If you didn't sit at the end and applaud them players off, that was shocking, because they deserved applauding off on Sunday.
Yeah, they give it their all. Absolutely give it their all.
And so did Victor Valdez.
And yeah, look, I walked out the Riverside. Coming down the steps from the West Upper here, prawn sandwiches, some bloke was having a whinge and saying how rubbish he was and he wants Dimmy in goal. And then just as we got to the door leading out to the car park, some other bloke said, oh, he's crap, he always makes mistakes, drops big fatties.
God.
Are they watching the same game as me?
Idiots. Absolute idiots. They should be watching. Don't renew the season tickets. Don't.
He did some,
we don't need him.
He pulled off 3 cracking saves.
I was going to say, he did some cracking saves throughout that match, even with 2 within 5 seconds of each other. So, yeah. And that little slip-up was just an unfortunate slip-up. It could have happened to any goalie, in all honesty. I just think it was just unfortunate for it to happen there.
That's happened to Dimmy before, you know. It's happened to Dimmy like once or twice. So
if we want to have a go, we should be having a go. The groundsman constantly watering the pitch before kick-off and before, because it was only our players that were slipping over. Yeah. Clayton went down twice. I can't remember who the other one was. I saw
probably Espinosa. He falls over quite a bit.
Oh, the Espinosa supporters club. We know. Just going back to the threads. Number 4 was when we go down, which players would or should leave. And 5, a negative attitude is now ridiculous. I suppose it is, isn't it? Why would we want to be negative at this moment in time? No. Even though we are 5 points adrift and second from bottom, still positivity time, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is, yeah. Well, the fans have got what they wanted now. Karanka's gone, which is what we think was the right thing to do. Get behind the team. The team will get the play. No, we have to have a go. We're not going to go stay up now by drawing games. We're going to stay up by having a go at teams and scoring goals. Absolutely. We see that now, and if we go down with a fight, they'll get applauded off at the end of the season, come back again next season. Yeah.
Quick question for you then, Matt. Craig Hignett is going to be a guest on this show next week, sitting on the couch. Great news. Higgy's at Jimmy Pollock's place, Top Corner Sports, Saturday night. Tickets are a tenner. Get in touch with Jamie's place if you want to be there. We'll be there asking him all the questions that you can't ask him live on television. What was Higgy's finest moment at the Borough? Was it the first player to score 100 goals, or was it the first goal scorer at the Riverside? What do you reckon? Really hard, that one, isn't it, mate?
I'd go with the first, really.
Yeah, I thought you would. Yeah. Congratulations to Nigel Roberts, no relation, and Jacqueline Lawson Arms. You'll be at Jamie Pollock's place on Saturday. Catch you next week.